So as you guys know, Sixfold Abyss Azvaldt is rotating out very soon, and so your streamer here, or whatever you want to call me, is gonna take a look at all the cards that are gonna be rotating out of rotation into unlimited lot for the rest, where they'll probably never see play for the rest of time. Yes, we ain't stopping that low. Who do you think we are? It's fine. Anyways, of course, we'll go through each of the classes, starting with neutral, and then we'll do neutral last, because neutral is very dependent on all the other classes. We'll go from forest, sword, and then you get the idea. So let's begin. So starting with forest, we had, I hit create cards just in case I don't actually have any cards, but immediately right off the bat, the one card that I'll miss the most, Hatsune Miku, amazing, beautiful card. My beloved, not really, but you know what? Beautiful collab. I love this. I love the design, but that's out of the way. The most important thing that Forestcraft probably lose is straight off the bat, the Magachio package. Magachio has been really strong, and I think, if I'm not wrong, it has quite a presence ever since Azvaldt. There were periods in the time when in rotation where Magachio fell off a little bit, but even then, Magachio was still lurking somewhere around tier 3 or tier 2. The problem with Magachio was that it's one of the most consistent way to OTK for Forestcraft, even being able to OTK on turn 6, especially with a neutral card that, let's see if it's in Azvaldt later. If it's not, then I'll just pull it out just to talk about more about it. But unlike Magachio, the rest of her package is not really that good. Verdant Lieutenant saw play back in the past when there's Evolved Forest around, but once the main win condition for that rotated out, I forgot who it was, probably some woolly mammoth or elephant guy. She never saw play. I mean, she saw play in Castel as an extra card, but not really relevant. Leaf Shade Assassin was never good. Apparently, a 2-mana deal 4 randomly is just not good enough. But Budding Initiate stuck around, was one of the better cards in the Forestcraft Condemned package. Back in the days, they have Whirling Assault, which you can play on Budding Initiate. And in fact, the best way to play Magachio is actually to just cut all the unnecessary cards and just play the necessary cards for your OTK. And then, okay, as some people in the chat have pointed out, Plumeria and Hatsune Miku, they are basically the same card, but Plumeria will have quite a big splash on the current meta or going forward. Castel Forest, one of their most consistent way of winning the game is through Storm Fairies, which Plumeria is actually what gives the ability to give the first fairy that comes into play Storm. Even just beyond that, in the past it was a 2-mana 1/2, I believe, which still saw a decent amount of play, but was significantly weaker since, well, you couldn't return it to hand with your furries, your tiger and panther. But now it's a 1/1, it gets the benefit from Castel token spell, and it can also be returned, making it a lot easier to play. And then again, a 1-mana heal tree is just really good. Who needs Storm? Just draw 2 Frostborn Princesses, just wait until they are on the bottom 5 of your deck and you cry yourself to sleep. The missing heal is actually a huge loss, exactly. Like, if you think 1-mana deal 3 was really good, 1-mana heal 3 is equally good, except it just doesn't heal you over the cap of 20 hit points, but that's beside the point. What else? Feral Awakening doesn't matter anymore. Guidance of the Wise died alongside Nobilis when it rotated out. Fairy of Gaia played occasionally in Control Forest, I guess, but doesn't seem a lot of relevant play nowadays. Gale Pierce is a return card, a bit awkward at 2-mana, but it's okay. If you want more returns, I guess it might still might make an impact, but doesn't really matter. Merchant of the Woods is okay. The rest are just whatever. But anyways, just talking about the other legendary for Forestcraft, Wimael, Redolent Enforcer. This card was very polarizing. It was really polarizing, especially if you can cheat it out super early. A Fairy Stream heal is enough? Probably not. Like, Plumeria is a separate amount. It's a entirely different type of card from Fairy Stream. It's a follower that contributes to Castell's quest. And not only that, it's also a target for Fairy. I mean, Fairy Stream, you could use Fairy Stream, but you still need to play 6 cards before you actually activate Fairy Stream, if you remember. But anyways, more on to Wimael. This card was very polarizing. When it was good, it was too good. When it was bad, it was horrendous. On paper, this card seems okay. When you get Wimael down out on board, he just never leaves until it is transformed. So it's okay, but what made this card absolutely disgusting was when it was first released, there was a card in rotation called Hozumi. And Hozumi can cheat Wimael out on turn 4 or turn 5 alongside another card, which is, I forgot who, but there was a card, I think it was an academic card. Give me a second, I'll go take a look. No, it's not an academic card, it was a Dragon Blade card. Who was it? Cosmos Fangs. Yes, Cosmos Fang. That is the one card that Hozumi and Cosmos Fang broke Wimael. It made it one of the most toxic and unfun decks to play against. What they will do is they'll use Hozumi, cheat out Cosmos Fangs, Wimael, and some other card, return all your cards back to your hand, and they cheat out so many 4/4s that you cannot deal with them on your like turn 4 or turn 5. It was a horrible experience that they had to nerf the deck. And ever since Hozumi got rotated and, well, they got nerfed, Wimael just have never saw relevant play. It was occasionally seen in meme decks, but that is about as much exposure as Wimael gets. Yes, it is indeed Fang. It was fairly interesting to play against. It was interesting, but play against it 3 times too many and you just feel like leaving the game. Excessive though. I'm not sure if it's turn 4. My memory is a little bit... I don't have a record of any gameplay against Hozumi because I started content creation a little bit after that. But I do remember playing against Hozumi with Wimael and it sucked. It sucks, okay? But let's move on to Swordcraft. With some of one of the better design convicts in my opinion, or condemned packages, but we'll talk about it right now. Okay, so let's talk about the condemned package first. Oh, I spelled it wrong, but never mind, I'll just take a look at this. Barbaros will miss you. I mean, of course, she was so sick. I love the design, I love the idea, and I love the sort of gameplay it brought into Shadowverse. But then, I mean, Loot did overstay its welcome for a bit. It's actually a really good mid-range deck. It was a really good mid-range deck. Like, you can see how the loot package goes. You play loot, you fuse them, and then you finish the game with Barbaros and your Tidal Gunners. All the cards and packages are strong and relevant. Smash or pass. Smash, 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 pass. Anyways. So where was I? Deep Sea Scout was good. It's a 1-mana 1/1. Builds rarely, gives you a loot card and also cycle if you have too many excess loot in your hand. Tidal Gunner converts all loot in your hand into damage. Also provides healing from Gilded Goblet or extra damage burn for finishing reach with Dread's Palace Fact. Storm Rack first mate is good rally enabler, good board control, board over and things. Scout is cute, but no, I'm not gonna smash that. I have limits, and I'm not interested in this kind in them. This is hate pad. This is hate pad. Hate pad material, not smash material. So anyways, as Stormrat was really good as just a token generator as well as loot generator. Usually can help you clear and maintain board control. Usually a kill on side card, because if you don't kill it, the turn is dropped, you are probably going to lose the game. And then we have Barbaros, very versatile card. Not only can you use it to clear board, you can use it to set up lethal with Dread Paraflex or use it as a finisher itself. So the entire loot package was really fun to play. It was probably the most complicated deck of its time back in the day. It was the most fun, a lot of OT lethal patterns. Pseudo Ward, yes, it is indeed a Pseudo Ward. But where was I? Back in the day, we have Octris, which with her token spell, which is some hollow dogma or whatever it was, which made loot a very interesting and fun deck to play. But once that rotated out, Luke fell off a little bit. Have to wait for a bit before Jolly Rogers came back in Riverbrand, which brought Luke back into tier 2 or tier 1. But then Luke kind of lost its kind of complexity. It's a lot more easier to play Luke because it's really one-dimensional, which is just not as fun compared to Octree's Loot, in my opinion, which kind of kills the deck for me. But it was still a fun package to play with all around because all the cards are relevant and have their own unique as something to the deck that you cannot take away from. And then from the other cards, we have Merville. It's okay, only played in Toilet Sword, which was gone the moment Royal Fortress rotated. Wandering Knight was good in Rally. Ninja Onslaught never saw play. Heavy Warrior never saw play. Iron Walk Defender, one of the last bastions for heroes back in rotation. Look back then was scary. It was fun though. It was complicated. It was okay to play. You miss Toilet so much. I don't. I don't like just playing cards for a win condition that invokes directly from deck. If it's bad design opinion. Then we have Elven Lord, which is basically another rally card. It was cut in the current modern list because I think there's better options, and I think Twin Blader is just a better card for a finisher. And giving Storm to your officer followers, it doesn't matter as much. Then Wind Slasher, another final version for heroes, which, like, I mean, literally they don't see any play. I don't think anyone ever played it. And then what is this? Warden of Honor and Radiel, they both are win condition in their own right. Radiel was a thing in the last expansion before with what was that? Opulent Strategy still in rotation. It was quite a good win condition. Basically, if you can get this out, evolve it and buff it by 1/1, this will almost always win you the game. Warden of Honor not so much, usually too heavy, but people do run it for the crystallized rally 1 draw 1. Let's see. They had Gil, Octrees, Kagematsu, and Barbaros. Yeah, those combination made Loot Sword really fun back in the day, and a very good fun deck to play against as well. You're playing in Toilet in UL to too much success credit Hot Buff is awesome. Yep. It's basically Ready versus Loot. In my opinion, Loot was more fun, but Ready is more brain dead. But you know what? You can see the appeal for both sides. But that's enough about Swordcraft card. Anyways, Loot, although it has, I think, a slight presence in the card on ladder, I faced against it a couple of times, but it's not usually considered good. It's still a fun deck though, will definitely have a special place in my heart because, in fact, fun fact, back in the day, this was actually the deck I chose day 1. I didn't wait for anyone, I just decided, I looked at all the decks, I decided Loot seems the most fun and it seems the most strong, so I went with it. I was so happy I was right. Anyways, let's move on to what is this? Rune, their story. I mean, all the convicts have very interesting stories. I might make a video on that one day, but today is not the day. Anyways, the convict was condemned for Runecraft is Sephi, the brave convict, and her entire volunteer test subject package. Once again, this is one of those rare packages where all the cards in the set is all relevant. For test subject, idea is really simple. Summon 5 test subjects, they become 5 5s, and then you can on turn 7 or turn 8, you can fuse like a lot of cards into Sephi, summon 3 different test subjects that are 5 5s, play Sephi, get another 5 5, and go face for 20. It was a pretty good deck. It was one of the rare more board based decks, follower based deck for what? In Shadowverse, if I remember correctly, not a lot of decks play for board, and Sephi is one of those few decks that actually plays for board really well, and she does the job well too. It was okay. I don't remember a point where Sephi was overly oppressive. Right, the test subjects were annoying to deal with. They will benefit regardless of what they are, but you can fight against Sephi, you can play around them. It was an interesting deck to face against. It was fun to play against as well. All the cards are useful. Like volunteer, they all tie into each other really well. And yes, Sephi is the one that raised your win count. Yep. Can you listen to Sephi's leader card voice line? You know what, let's do it. It is ethically sound. Anyways, but let's aside from the condemned package, we have Feline Magic, which I played once or twice as a meme. Check, which we used to we boosted that chest into a very good deck, a tier 1 deck back when chest was still in rotation. No, not chest when it was still in rotation, when Mystic King was still in rotation. Specifically Mystic King, because Mystic King was realistically the only reason why chess is even good. And then we have the 2 Earthright cards. Is it 2? I mean, we have Crystal Scryer here as well, but this what I mean, Colossal Summoning isn't played as much nowadays, but back when it was released, it was experimented with, it was pretty good. Ultramarine Witch is just an Earth Sigil, which makes it a generally good card already. Then Bipartite Elemental, it was tested in Spell Boost, it was too heavy, it got cut, it would never saw play ever again, it's just average. Crystal Scryer, back when Golem Lord was still a 7 mana card, this was how I managed to pull out my Golem Lord OTK back in the day. It was a mess of a deck, but it was really fun to play around with. I like mana cheating. And then we have Crushing Fate Rain, a really good spell boost card that deals 2 to enemy follower and the enemy leader. It was one of the few cards that still reduce its cost in rotation, which means it's an auto include in most spell boost decks. In fact, I think it's an auto include in all spell boost decks. And then here we have the other 2 spell boost cards, the Wardens and Enforcer. The Warden never saw play. Never. It was too heavy. It does way too many things for who knows what. I tried playing it. It was horrible. I saw it play against me once. My opponent lost. You get the idea. It was bad. Oh, here's a stream idea. You play the condemned package of each class until you win 1 each. How strange. It's almost as though I had deja vu there. It's almost as though I have already done it. But anyways, about Simiel, it was a card. It was really good. Back when Storm Boost was a thing, it was a tier 0 back in one of the first weeks of Azvaldt, I believe. There was some very insane shenanigans that cheated out Simiel on turn 5, I believe, which was so strong that they had to hot nerf the deck. They hit some key cards and then Simiel fell off. Well, I say hot nerf, but it was like it took a week or 2, so there was a week or 2 where Storm Boost was rampaging around rotation. But anyways, it came back when was introduced, which gave you another way to win with Simiel again, but other than that, didn't see too many meta play. And Heron of Lies. Wait, what was it? Toki Hanate or something like that. I can it. Storm Boost has a turn 5 lethal. Exactly. Did I say get it on turn 5? I mean you lose on turn 5. It was a very fun and interactive gameplay. When was Simiel meta again and you forgot why it lost the relevance? I think you lost the relevance because it's just a 4/6 ward. I mean Storm Ward. It was good, and then I think people found better decks to play, especially if you can just win the game on turn 5 or turn 6. But yes, that's basically Rune. What we'll be losing is, I mean, Spell Boost is kind of relevant, but not really. But the entire condemned package for Rune is very fun to play around with. And it's a shame to see a pop-based deck go. I would have loved to see this continue staying in rotation, and I wouldn't have mind either. Oh, did I mention what is losing for the other classes? Let's just quickly go back. For Swordcraft, we lose Rally Finisher, not important because Twin Blader exists. Doesn't matter. The loot package matters a lot, and it's basically just loot. Then for Forest, we lose Castel loses something, Magachio loses something. The rest of the decks doesn't care about anything else except Merchant of the Woods, which kinda hits Iris. Iris control Forest a little bit, just a little bit. It's not even big at all. So yeah, it's whatever. Let's move on to Dragon. Spell Boost fell off when they lose that journalist card. Who is it? Why? Yukimura? Yukishima? I think it is Paradise. It's Yuki something. Yukishima. This one, right? Your life will rest between these pages. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, that was probably one of the biggest payoff for spell boost, but anyways, not relevant anymore. It's Paradise. Who cares about Paradise? Next, Dragoncraft. Dragoncraft is interesting. So, here's the Dragoncraft has a very strong card. Not this one. Drazael. We'll talk about her in a moment. But first, the Convict Condemn package. It was all over the place. I feel like the problem with the Condemn package for Dragoncraft is that it lacks consistency. It will lack consistency in a way where, even though, right, the idea is really simple. You have to chain Condemns, and then you eventually, right, in the ideal world, it's like turn 2 Condemn into turn 3 Moronda, which goes into turn 5 Scorched Earth Tyrant, into a turn 6 Scorched Earth Tyrant, into a turn 7 actually no, it's turn 6 actually. Turn 3, actually no, it's turn 7. Turn 7 Anti-Maria for Lethal, I believe. Okay, let me just check. Turn 3 Ram into turn 4, turn 5. Actually, it's turn 6 Lethal. That was ideal. You thought Anti-Maria is a problematic card. It was a very cool card. But what actually led to Condemn Dragon not actually popping off was the fact that they lack consistency. You never know whether you actually have the whole package in hand. But if you do get the whole package in hand, the deck is really pops off a lot. It was really cool just to like chain a card into another card into another card into another card. But in my opinion, it would have been nice if they have added in like a second text. Is like otherwise, like here, right? If you play a Condemn card during your previous turn, gain Rush and an empty play point, or otherwise draw a Condemn. Just like a payoff, even if you didn't play a Condemn card on the previous turn, so they don't feel like bricks. But unfortunately, I'm not a card designer and I'm not a game dev, so I can't do anything about that. When Azvaldt just released, it was pretty good. It was only until the new cards got added and Anti-Maria for all. I mean, Anti-Maria even got buffed. In the old days, she didn't have the Accelerate, so it was just the main body and a little bit bricky, hard to play around with. But overall, the concept was nice. It just feels too bad when you couldn't chain the effects into each other. Even back when it first released, I think one of the best decks for Condemn was actually Arm Condemn, which actually I think is more of the Arm Dragons carrying the Condemn package. Usually with the Condemn package, you need something else to help carry it. It doesn't stand alone on itself because it just doesn't have enough cards. It's either you go Ram Condemn or you go Arm Condemn. It never was played by itself. And then the other cards, the other Condemn, Drazael, in fact, saw a lot of play. It saw a lot of play. Drazael, Warden was played in Arm, but it doesn't saw relevance nowadays. Let's see. Back then she has Accelerate, just don't have the anti. Oh wait, she does. Okay, then that was my bad because I forgot. Okay, maybe she does have Accelerate, but I don't remember the second part, which is my fault. But hey, it's been a while. Okay, my memory isn't the best. Don't remember having issues playing against Condemned Dragon. Draz, on the other hand, yeah, I mean the issue with the aggressive side of Condemned Dragon is that you have to chain the effects. But if you can chain the effects like Hot Header into Scorched Earth into Anti-Maria, it was disastrously strong. It's like there's not a lot of decks can deal with that. But that's the point is it doesn't happen that often. But Drazael is in fact really good. It was really good. The idea of Dragon Condemn is to play Condemn card each turn, but you need to put a lot of Condemn in the deck which can dilute the tutor. Yep, and that's where the point comes in, consistency. And then on the other hand, Drazael is played in a lot of decks. Where I think I say that a lot. A lot of Dragon decks. One, it was played in one of the worst decks ever existed, Bahamut Dragon. Why? It's heal, it's store, it kills your opponent's hopes and dreams. If they're playing aggro deck, you say screw you. If they play a control deck, it's still a screw you because of 5/8 cannot be destroyed by card effects with Ward. It's quite annoying to deal with. And nowadays, it's still a screw you because Buff Dragon can buff this to a 20 hit points, and now you are wondering why the hell I do even play this game. But anyways, Drazael is an overall super strong card that is basically playing every deck. A lot of decks. every deck runs her. I mean, true, because like, if you're not playing her for what, you can even just accelerate her to draw a card, which is good enough. It's an insight. People run it for that alone. It's really versatile. Which, yeah, it's good. It's just good. Unlike the Warden can't be said for as much. The Warden is just a Warden. But anyways, looking at the other cards, Reinvigorated Dragoon, play in meme. Swift Blade Dragon New died when Leviathan rotated. Dancing Crab is Dancing Crab. It's his own tier. I cannot rate it fair. Dark Mermaid is a guy. Strike of the Dragon Slayer is a card. Giselle and DQC are memes. This card is horrible. I don't even know why I have 3 copies of her. She gave me the worst experience of my life. Dragon King's Castle on the other hand is a meme. It's a fun card when it was dropped. It's just okay. It's fun. It's funny to play with DQC. Which deck didn't run Dra's Arm? Not really. Big Dragon can't do anything against aggro without Dra's. Well, I mean, I think they can survive without Dra's. They're just gonna have a harder time doing anything. Every Dragon deck in rotation, starting from Azvaldt, runs her. Well, most Dragon decks except mine. Like half of my Dragon decks doesn't run Drazael. Because I'm Zelts, but it's not because of any special reason. But yeah, that's the only reason that you need to know. But anyways, so looking at this, Dragon loses okay. It mainly Drazael. It's all Drazael. It's like none of the other cards matter too much. It's literally just Drazael. Although I will say Anti-Maria was a very, very fun card to play with. The one play point draw is good. Yeah. You know what? I'm just gonna probably cut the next part of the video, but like, you say like every single deck runs, every single dragon deck runs dragon. Huh? Where's my Drazael? In fact, I think that's why the deck was horrible. It's because I don't have Drazael inside. Lamau. That's an insight for dragon. Yep. Drazael was very versatile. Hi Vice, welcome in. Don't worry, not doing anything. That's gonna review the cards today. Reviews the cards leaving rotation today. So yes, nothing special. Anyways, let's move on to Shadowcraft. I've never seen half of. Oh wait, that is not in Azvaldt. Anyway, I was like, what are those cards? I've never seen those. But anyways, Azvaldt, let's go. Okay. Dragon had like no draw. Heaven Skill Dragon and who's the other one? Dormant Dragon likes to speak with you. But I think they are pretty late, so I guess you're still fine. You'll be shedding tears of when Wise rotates. Only when Wise. Only for Wise. But okay, let's take a look at Shadow. Okay, let's start with the Condemned package. Fallen, Instinct Death, Underworld Lieutenant, Abyssal Colonel. Back in the day, Last Word Shadows was a tier 1 meta deck. It's 7 AM, you've been drinking quite a bit, so your consciousness is fading, Lamau. Don't drink. Drinking is bad for your health. I'm not gonna just go on the whole rant telling you to not drink, but just don't. I don't understand the appeal of alcohol anyways, but anyways. First things first, Instinct Death, although it was... Okay, wait, how do I even start analyzing Shadow? First of all, I love Shadowcraft, so I'm heavily biased. But how do I judge this? How should I judge this? Okay, first off, Fallen Sergeant is trash. No one ever runs. People run this card at one point in time, but it fell off. Didn't bother again. Underworld Lieutenant was okay. It was tested, but they decided consistency was better. They got rid of it. It came back recently in mid-range Shadow, which was a joy. It was really good to see Underworld Lieutenant being back. He was a strong card. He gives a lot of bodies and does damage to your opponent on top of it. It's unfortunately back in the when it was first released, there was a lot of better ways you can Shadow has ways to win, so Underworld Lieutenant saw play back then, but you saw play now. And then we have Abyssal Colonel. Oh boy, this card. This card, man. You see it right now, it's a 9 mana 4/6. Back in the days, this was a 9 mana 6/6, and it was absolutely broken. But anyways, before I get on, let's just read the chat real quick. You're gonna miss all the sword cards that are rotating. Same. Actually, not all of them. The Condemn loot package was really fun. The last word back then was annoying as well. The 6/6 Colonel didn't particularly like playing against the latest last word now either. Triple Colonel unblockable OTK pain. Colonel was insane when he came out, lol. Yes, exactly. So this card not only was strong in rotation, this card literally broke Unlimited. Back in the Unlimited back in the day, there was a trifecta, there was like Wrath Blood, there was Hill Haven, and there was Atomy Shadow. Abyssal Colonel broke Atomy Shadow. Atomy Shadow, it became the tier 0 deck of Unlimited. Everyone plays Abyssal Colonel back then because you can literally turn 3 OTK with Abyssal Colonel. I would literally make a list. Wow, the list was literally just 3 copies of Abyssal Colonel and 1 copy of Atomy. That was it. That was literally the entire game plan. Turn 3 OTK. It was so bastard. And even in rotation, a 2-man, you never play for the 9-mana body. What you do is you wait for the you crystallize it, and then you destroy with Instinct Death. Instinct Death's fanfare effect, which was really strong. For 2 mana, you get to destroy every single card, which when you can destroy amulets with last words, right, it basically cheats them out for early. You get a 2 mana 6/6 Storm Ward last words. It was such a bastard card. And then they had to nerf it to a 4/6, so it was a lot weaker now, but it was still a very good card nonetheless. Let's see. 3 Colonels game over. Last word lost Instinct, Helio lost Ruin, Burial lost Meruel. Not to mention you can tutor it consistently. Atomy finally caught a nerf, lol. Yep. Anyways, and on the Enforcer side of thing, we have Meruel and Warden. Warden of the Corpse never saw play ever. Actually, it saw play, but it wasn't good because a Septic String was just a strictly better card. Meruel, on the other hand, enabled an entire archetype of Shadow, which is Barrel Right Shadow. Her leader effect was really strong. Barrel Right, allowing you to get 6 extra burn damage on literally your opponent's entire board. It was super strong, and what you do with her is actually you bury like some guys, and then you reanimate a very key card from Academy called Septic String, which is a 4 mana. Once you have buried 5 times, it does 3 to the opponent face. It was really strong like 2 expansions ago, but it fell off for some reason. I believe it was when the in Ghost Pub got hit with a nerf, which was really weird. I don't know why they decided to hit String. No, so not String. Why they decided to hit the in Ghost Pub, but whatever. Even then, people use Ultras. Yeah, Warden wasn't so good. Mira, on the other hand, was really good. And then Sariwan. Nowadays, actually, we'll start from the beginning. A Loyal Ghost Pub played in Last Words. Very versatile card. It's a 1/1/1 with a lot of effects. It was a really good card overall. Let's see. Barrel Right was somewhat manageable when Greater Will can target the enemy leader. Haha, that was an old card. That was an old effect, man. Lakandula rotated and BR is gone. Yep, Lakandula in Ghost Hound, they rotated, Barrel Right died. As well as Call of the Great Arm. Then Barrel Right died a little bit because they ran out of hand resources, but then we got a little bit more support in the latest few extensions, so it's a playable deck. Like, I'll say tier 3, you can play, it's okay, it's fun, it's a nice card to take out for a run every now and then. From the Dust Reborn is basically a 1 mana 2/2. Yeah, you can look at it that way. Or a 5 mana reanimates 7 mana card. It was a very versatile card, not to say the least. It's only as good as all the other cards in the rotation. There was a point in time where you will want to reanimate. Let's see, who was it? Corpse Cornelius. And then what happens is that you get his token spells, and then you OTK the next turn with like the tiger pup into Angel of Chaos into another card for like OTK or something. Yeah, something like that, which was it was okay. It was not that good, but this card was very versatile and really good. What else? Ghastly Banishment, an insane finisher for Ghost Shadow. I hated this card. It was good, but Masquerade Ghost make this way too frustrating to deal with. But without Masquerade Ghost, this card was really balanced and a pretty fair card to play around with. And then here we have Soul Sniper, archetype they decided to print, they support once and never look at again. It's like they printed this card one time and then that's it. They never print support for this. It was an entire archetype and it never got support ever. Like, it never got support ever again. I mean, it got one support, Lord of Resurrection, but like, that's it. That's the last time anyone supported Soul Sniper. It was insane. But I did find a deck for her in the current expansion. It was Burial Rite with Lord of Resurrection and Soul Sniper. It was interesting. Definitely a deck you could check out. It's somewhere on my channel. I'm not gonna link it because it's a while back. You can go look for it if you're interested. But it was a very fun deck, and it managed to make use of all 3 white hair, 2 of the cards in this expansion actually. So don't craft it for any reason, please. And in fact, once Soul Sniper rotates out, Lord of Resurrection it's just another guy. Damn, side games. I totally understand how you're going, how you enjoy supporting old cards, man. But yes, that's basically all it is for Shadow. So let's take a look at what chat is saying. To be honest, you just want Kagematsu and Taketsumi back in rotation. Those are really good Swordcraft cards. I can understand why you want them back. They were really good and very versatile. So yes, they were very fun. Olivia and Sylvia. Is there a context for that I'm missing? I think you meant to say that Cornelius is used with Olivia and Sylvia, which is fair. But Olivia and Sylvia is run in basically almost every deck. So whatever. You want to play Evil Sword? That's expensive. I don't have the vows for that. Anyone remember Musketeer's Vow? I played it once or twice, but no, I don't like it when it was played against me. Oh, Claude Skeleton. Alright, this card. I jumped over these 2 cards, but anyways, this was a really good Burial Rite card. Versatile is good enough to be run in Burial Rite. This one was not because you only Burial Rite on Evolve, which is too slow. It was a waste of Evolve points and frankly just not worth the slot. And yes, that's basically it for Shadow. How big did they lose? Huge actually. Instinct Death, I think I forgot to mention this, but Instinct Death was one of the main ways to cheat out Dark Allies in rotation. So without Instinct Death, Dark Allies has to rely purely on the neutral package now, which sucks. It straight up sucks. Instinct Death was the one reason why Last Word Shadow is ever a thing in rotation. And with him gone, that's it. Last Word is dead. Mid-range losers Underworld is okay. Loyal Ghostbite is too good of a card to lose. Overall, Shadow gets hit really hard. We lost like 2 archetypes, 2 major archetypes, Burial Rite and Last Words. We lost 1 mini archetype, and then we lost quite a number of good support cards like Loyal Ghost, Underworld Lieutenant, Ghastly Bashman, Sweet Soul, which it's a very it's such a big shame. I love this deck. And there's the Sariwan as well. I forgot to talk about her because I thought I talked about her already. Basically, this one it just summons Hideo. Oh right, it summons Hideo. So Hideo Shadow just got a lot more inconsistent. I mean okay, look. The meta way of using Sariwan was using her to reanimate Hideo, crystallize it or Septic String in Burial Rite. You reanimate either Hideo or Septic String, you burn face, you do a lot of damage. But my personal way of using her is actually to reanimate Lord of Resurrection, which using her fanfare, which in my opinion was a lot more fun. But hey, that's my opinion. Really fun card. It was a way to reanimate 10, which we don't see nowadays, unfortunately. And it was also one of the only card that activates the summon followers fanfare effects, which there was a lot of fun interactions you could probably pull off with Sariwan, which unfortunately I won't be able to do any more with once she rotates out. Let's see what you guys talking about. Musketeer Vow. That was a very satisfying card. I love the all as one. It's like they just summon 4 of them and they're like, all as one, or something like that. All for one. Something I forgot the voice line, but it was really cool. But yes, Shadow loses a lot. What a big shame, especially as a Shadow main. Next up, we have Blood with their Wrath package. Does it really matter? Okay, let's see what are the key cards that goes missing. Howling Scream, Vicious Blitzer for aggro blood, Demonic Drummer as just a versatile Wrath card in general, Genomwell kinda for U10. Kinda, okay. I think, okay, you know, I don't think Wrath, okay, Wrath loses quite a lot. But here's the thing. People don't run this anymore. Actually, Wrath is not in a good spot. What do they do now? Harmonic Wolf. Okay, the most important card that I see being lost here is Howling Scream, Demonic Drummer, Vicious Blizzard. That's all. Howling Scream is a 1 mana deal 1 draw 1 is really good. Vicious Blizzard is a 2 mana deal 2 to your opponent's face, ping 2 to your own, really good as well, especially in aggro Wrath, which is probably the best Wrath deck right now. And then Demonic Drummer is just a 2 mana 2 ping 2, and it's a good body, it's a good stats. The problem with the current Wrath package is a lot. So Steam Rolling Tank, it was okay, it's decent, not memorable. It's a 1 mana ping 1, but it doesn't fight for board. Raging Commander clears board, is 3 mana, a little bit heavy, and it deals 1, but I forgot to loop my music again. I'm so dumb. Anyways, and Gyaradeath, back in the very first release, this was a really good deck because of Vania. Vulnerate, Gyaradeath still getting some love, is decently consistent. Who never got Venerate, never played Wrath without her just fine. Okay. I think I'll try to go over what I was talking about again, but anyways. I think Wrath was one of the best cards for Wrath back in the days was actually Vania. It was really strong card. It gives you a card called Gift of the Bloodkin, which is 0 mana deal 1. And that was a huge boost in consistency for Wrath Blood in a lot of ways. It allows you to do a combo finisher with Gyaradeath on turn 6, which is a huge difference, a world of difference than compared to currently when you can only realistically win with Gyaradeath on turn 7 unless you spend turn 5 playing a 5 mana spell that gives you a card that pings you for 3. But even then, Vania was, I think, one of the best enablers for Blood. And right now, Wrath Blood is in a weird situation where it doesn't quite have enough defensive capabilities of reaching turn 7 and winning then. You can OTK on turn 7 with Wrath Blood, I believe. I don't know. I think Vulnerate was also a card that was really good for Wrath as well. It also gives another 0 mana ping 1 as well. So you can definitely argue that Vulnerate was also a good card for Wrath. Then there's also, what was it? Howling Demon, a 5 mana wipe the board Storm, drain 5. It was a really good card as well. That gave Wrath a lot of heal, a lot of consistency, a lot of presence in the meta, and overall a lot of reach, especially with Gyaradeath, which is an 11, and with all the extra pings, usually more than enough to reach you for lethal. Yeah, but nowadays Wrath is kind of limited. They only realistically, if they have Hidone, and they have Gyaradeath, and they have Rogue and Verte for kind of a pseudo win condition. Hidone is just better. Hidone was just so much better. You get it on your first Evo turn, your second Evo turn, and you just win by turn 6. Gyaradeath is just too slow. It became obsolete. People start cutting him, and yeah, it was a shame. He was a very cool design, and I believe his voice lines is one of the cooler ones as well. Like,
together, we'll lay the moon low.
Yeah, and then
we'll ride under a moonless sky.
I love this voice line. The voice line was really, really sick. It was such a shame to see him fall out of relevance, but unfortunately, it is what it is. And then some other cards I see. Signa was an evolved blood card, but it's still versatile nowadays. People may be sad to see her go. She was good, she's okay, she's decent. And I mean, she's pretty flexible and versatile. What next? Scorching Grandiosity. Basically, Floral's back in rotation, but they nerfed it to 2 mana and it became unplayable. They nerfed it to 2 mana and it became unplayable. Honestly, right? They should have just nerfed. They should revert this nerf. Like Wrath needs it. Just revert this nerf. Wrath could definitely use Scorching Grandiosity at its peak right now. There's no reason to nerf this. I don't understand why. This was good. This could have been such a good card. Is Signa rotating? Yup, Signa is rotating. It's a shame, but she was decent. She was fun. In Evolved Blood especially, but I don't play Evolved Blood, so. But I think nowadays you play her in U10. She was versatile as a board player and also sometimes as a 1 mana deal 4. She was good. Don't get me wrong, she's good. But it's not also not something that's really noteworthy. You remember this spell fit into UL Wrath when it was 1 play point? Yeah, leave it at 1 play point. 2 play point just killed the card. What were you doing, side games? You introduced a card and you killed it. You basically just didn't give a card to Wrath at all. Like, why? I don't understand. And then Whirligig Wolf, I saw play once or twice as a Storm finisher, I believe, but not that I know of. Warden of Decay was run once as a Pazuzu support card. Basically, the idea is you play Azvaldt into Warden of Decay, and you have a lot of cards. You have Pazuzu, and it made Pazuzu good for like a certain period of time. It was still bad, don't get me wrong, but Pazuzu was viable for a certain period of time. And then what else? Pazuzu support and Genome Well. Where do I begin with this card? I don't know where I begin with this card. Like, it's a support card. You can see that it kind of goes together with Gyaradev because this gives -9 -9 to the enemy leader in total. So it sets the enemy leader's max HP to 11, and then Gyaradev does exactly 11. But realistically, that only happens by turn 9, so you're never going for this effect. It's a weird effect, but even outside of that, I think Genomel saw play recently in U10 Blood to lower your opponent's max hit point to 14, so you can kill with no nut, which is pretty good. And what else do I remember about this card? Pazuzu Fodder? I mean, it was also there was a variant of control decks that I played around with, where the main idea is just to win with just control your opponent until your opponent dies to themselves or dies to Genomel. Genomel slotted quite well into that as a control tool. Unfortunately, Wrath is more aggressive nowadays, so they never use Genomel. This card is a Menace intake too. I can see that. Genomel's effect is really strong in a vacuum, but unfortunately the meta just isn't a good environment for it to foster. It's good as a meme though. I like it as a meme. But that's basically for Wrath. Not I mean that's basically for Blood, but the way I say it is that's basically for Wrath as well. But I think Wrath may still be an okay spot. Losing these two, six cards in total. That's a lot of consistency loss. So overall, I'll say that they lost quite a decent bit, but not items that are too relevant. As I said, Gyaradev and half of the content package that really fell out of relevance. Genomel is replaced already by Narc. Yeah, it's fine. It's not the worst. It's not the worst loss ever. It's not the worst loss, but it's gonna hurt a little bit when I will pull up the deck editing screen and I'll look for Howling Scream to right click it to look for it to add to the deck, and that's like, oh wait, it rotated. Damn. But yes, that's it for Blood. Next up, Haven. Where do I begin? I don't play Haven. But okay, I'll try my best. The condemned package for Havencraft is, on the convict side, is unplayable. Actually, half of the cards are unplayable. The only one that was playable was Agent of the Commandments for like quite a while. The reason was really simple. It has ambush. It cannot be interacted with. And that was the only reason why this card was even playable. And it's also because of Illuvia, which love it when one of your followers can survive for one turn, which is basically what Agent always does because she just gets ambushed. Agent survives for one turn, Illuvia buff it to copious amount of damage, and then your opponent cries because they cannot interact with it ever again. That's basically. But on the other hand, when it was first released, Iradel didn't even have the accelerate. It was just this, and it's not even any allied cards that cost at least 6. It's just allied condemned cards. It was so bad and too niche. It's not even a win condition at that point in time. In fact, that's what no one ran Iradel, no one ran follower of the presets. Actually, for the preset actually looks like a decent card to me. It's a 2-mana 2/2 that always gets the defense, but unfortunately for most people, and for Havencraft in general, it was way too slow. So no one runs it at all. And then Executor of the Oath is just another guy. People run him, but they eventually cut him because there's better things they can do. But of course, the content package is kind of given new leash and a new life in the recent expansion with Lena, which actually made Iradel and Executor of the Oath actually play in those decks. To be fair, Big Haven wasn't good. It's playable, it's not the best, but Iradel and Executor definitely saw play in this deck and was pretty decent as well. And alright, one archetype as well, which for the next one I'll talk about. The next condemned card, which is Warden of the Wings as well as Unerel, Wing Enforcer. Well, Unerel was an interesting card. It was a lot stronger back in its prime with Holy Lightning Bird. You have an OTK, which is Unerel into 5 Holy Lightning Birds for an OTK. But ever since Holy Lightning Bird rotated out, Unerel is a little bit in a more of an iffy spot. Although there was a period in time, like just a couple of weeks ago, or months ago, I forgot, when Last Words was still popular, where Amulet Haven became more popular because Last Words and Mysteria cannot interact with your Haven deck at all. And then it's not my style of deck. Basically, you just wait until you get Unerel and you win the game. Not my style, but it was interesting. It was okay. It was decent, but outside of that one deck, Unerel never saw a lot of play. So yeah, it was just there. In fact, even nowadays, not a lot of people play Amulet, so people probably will kind of forget about this. No, they only remember one card. They remember Agent of the Commandments. That's it. For other cards, we have Amulet support, Crystallized support, which already speaks for how relevant it is. Sacred Ship is interesting. It was played as a tech. It was okay. It was decent. People don't run it as tech anymore. Never played. Play as tech. Play as a tech. Never played. Crystallized support. Actually, I think Vice is making a video on this. So if Vice haven't already uploaded a video, go check out his channel. He's making something very interesting with this. You should definitely check him out. But anyways, and what else is there to talk about? Warden of the Wings, which have like some level of relevancy, but it's just another guy. It's just another guy. So Haven will miss this card, and question mark this card. Not really. It's mini Agent though. It's just Hugh Haven that will miss Agent of Commandments, because like they miss an uninteractable follower that heals them and can become a 11/11 on turn 6. Why would they not miss it? It's such a good card. I'm just glad to see them gone. So yes, that's Haven. How relevant? Not quite. Agent is already being replaced, so Runeterra is irrelevant. So I guess it's meh. And then Portal is another archetype and tool. So let's get, where do we begin? Condemn package, of course. So on the convict side, we have Cutthroat, Ironforge, Black Rust, and Smeltwood, and Cutthroat and an entire new archetype for Portal, which is Enhanced Portal, with his insanely strong leader effect to give, like what? To basically make any enhanced card you play cost 2. It was really good, getting a lot of enhanced effect for 2 mana, like for example Puppet Workout for 2 mana. Pretty strong, even though you still need a 5 mana to play the enhanced, but it led to a lot of interesting games. It became a very good deck. Actually, it wasn't good when it was first released because there was issues for Enhanced Portal getting to turn 9 where they can OTK you in some form of, like what? Enhanced 9 Cutthroat into Dune Surfer, Enhanced 6 which is a OTK. That was usually how they OTK back in the day. Actually no, they have a better OTK back in the day, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Black Rust not as good, but still a card. Can combo an Enhanced 7 into a Puppet Workout, which is 15 damage burst, which is really, is it 15? Oh sorry, it's a 12 damage burst. 16 damage burst on turn 7, which is still really good. And then we have Ironforge, which tutors Cutthroat. That makes her insane already. And then Smeltwood, which is just a heal, which is fine. It's fine. This guy is fine. And then let's see what are the other cards. Alright, let's talk about Enhanced for a moment. Back when Enhanced first came out, it wasn't that good. Although there was a card that made Enhanced absolutely super strong, which was Jetpack Rider or something. There was an Enhanced card for 7 that can basically attack 3 times a turn. And that card for 2 mana, you getting that effect for 2 mana is absolutely busted and made Portal, Enhanced Portal so broken. Even though you can only run 1 copy of him, being able to go face 3 times for 2 mana, which you can buff with like with Forged Weaponry from a card, I think it's like a Puppet card back in last expansion, was really strong. And then they have access to a lot more tools back then. They have the Divine Treasure, and with then it fell off for a moment, but then Judith came around and Enhanced Portal got back, and then Judith got nerfed, and then Enhanced Portal died, and then Judith got reverted in the latest one of the latest patches, and then Enhanced Portal kinda came back. It was okay. And then we have Puppet Workout, which is probably the other card I want to talk about. This card was interesting. It was a card that enabled some aggro decks to be very strong. Like, I think that right now there's an aggro Portal deck which relies on Puppet Workouts +2/+2 to all allied followers. It was good. I think probably Machina runs this just in case you bot lock them, they get a +2/+2 to all followers, which was good. Puppet Workout was a really good tag card that you can just slot into your deck, especially if you're a bot based deck. Then Rogue Puppeteer, no one cares. Mechanical Amalgamations, Enhanced card, which is an artifact card that Artifacts doesn't care about. And then doesn't care, unplayable. And Dune Surfer is unplayable outside of Enhanced, which is really weird. Because like, you know how Dune Surfer is really bad outside of Enhanced Portal, because it's very funny. Like, if you play this on turn 6 targeting a follower that's already on board, right? Giving Storm is useless. It's like, this is basically just an enhanced support card. That's the only reason why Dune Surfer is ever printed. But yes, that's now onto the Enforcer side of the Condemn package. We have Warden of the Trigger. It's okay. I think it wasn't run at all. It wasn't run at all because it's a little bit heavy, but it was an okay card. It's okay, decently statted. But the reason why you see this card so much is actually because he's summoned by Azvaldt, which is a very good card for Portal. It's a 7 mana 5/5 storm. It summons you 2 Warder of the Triggers, which destroys a random enemy follower because it's summoned with an effect. End of turn, you draw 2 cards, restore 2 hit points, and they get ward and +2/+2. Like, Azvaldt does a lot. Azvaldt was strong. It was good. And it can go face. And back in the day, there was a card called Gilas, which you can use to summon Azvaldt, Gratina, and you have like, and you can summon another Warder of the Trigger. And probably like some guy like Magna Zero or some, not Magna Zero, but like that one card. I don't know who that one card is, but it was a card. You can summon that as well. And you can, it was a cool deck back in the day, especially when Gilas was around. But nowadays, Azvaldt is not played as much. I think people kind of play in Enhanced Portal, not really actually. Because like nowadays, the 7 play point slot is competing with Synthetic Eden, which is also a really good card. And the 8 play point slot is competing with Battle Cruiser, which is also a really good card. And honestly, I think Enhanced Portal prefer Battle Cruiser, so kinda fell out of relevance. It's still a good card though, and really really cool design. I love this a lot. Magna Saber. Is it Magna Saber? Nah, who cares? If I don't remember, it's not important. But yes, that's basically it for Portal. It lost an entire archetype and probably a sub-archetype in Aggro Puppet or Aggro Portal, which is a shame. It's kind of sad to see this as archetype go, but Enhance was fine. It was okay. It's a good control deck. But well, I guess it's a minimal loss. No, it's not minimal. It's like average loss because most people love playing Enhance. And we'll have a lot of dead cards in rotation because like, how many cards did they print to support Enhanced Portal? Like yeah, they try to support Enhanced Portal so much. And now it's like, it's gone. We're gonna have a lot of dead support cards. Your Machina deck will be incomplete without Azvaldt. Let's be honest, if you don't draw him, just pretend he's on the bottom of your deck. He's still there. He's there in spirit. But finally, let's talk about the neutrals. Okay, so it is in this expansion. Right, the neutrals. Key one first. Wing Inversion. This was the reason why Magachi was good. And this one. This was also the reason why Magachi was good. Wing Inversion allowed Magachi to OTK on turn 6. Warder of the Recurrence was the reason why Magachi is even good at all. Like, Warder of Recurrence becomes a 0 cost, which and it also has premium stats for Magachi to give Storm, which is why this card is not basically a forest card. It's basically forest. People put it in neutral to support my mouse went out of battery. Where's my goddamn charger? Never mind, I'll use my touchpad for now while I look for my charger. But anyways, Warder of Recurrence is made to support Zerael as a cheap 8 play point card to invoke Zerael. And if you don't know what Zerael does, Zerael is basically an Aegis. We lose Alice. We'll talk about Alice in a moment. Okay, right. Zerael, Region of Rebirth. This guy is an absolute meme. It's a meme of a meme of a meme. Like, it's an 8 mana 9/9 Aegis. And when you evolve it, it gets +9 in attack. And it's not even plus 11. It's just 9. It puts it at 18. It's a really weird number. But basically, you have to pay cards that cost originally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you invoke Zerael that is basically there for the rest of the game. Until you account for the fact that everyone in their mom runs Draza Elhaven scale as Goddess of Compassion nowadays, so this guy is just it's just another guy. But back in the days, there was a few decks that runs Zerael. We have Spell Boost, which can cheat Zerael out. We have Ram Dragon, which rams and then we just cheat, invoke Zerael. It was okay. But Ram Dragon didn't even need Zerael, they just invoke Bahama instead. So Zerael was the main reason for Warden of Recurrence, but look, a 0 mana 4/4 is better in Forest. Then Wing Inversion enabled Magachio to OTK on turn 6. Which, like, these two neutral cards made Magachio internal presence in rotation. Like, so long these two cards exist, Magachio will exist. And because they're in the same set, Magachio does exist. And when they rotate out along with Magachio cease to exist. Not that it matters anyways, at least they're in the same set. And then what next? Alice. Very good evolve card. Basically, you can see as a 2 mana 5/6, draw 2. Really good. And when you have evolve 7, it gives Storm is a finisher as well. It's pretty much a staple for all evolve decks. Currently, the only evolve decks you have to pay attention to are evolve Neutral Sword, which loves Alice, unfortunately. Because that means Neutral Sword needs another neutral card to support the next expansion. And if you want to go on a Copium drive, you can say Evo Shadow, Evo Blood, Evo Dragon, Evo Portal, whatever. Alright, Evo Portal is still a thing. You know what? Actually, yeah. Evo Portal could also miss at least. Not as much though. Not as much. I mean, to be fair, you could probably play the decks without Alice. It's not as bad. It's like you can probably find replacements for Alice. It's not as hard of a hit as some of the other cards. And then Angelic is run in Sephi. Owlcat is sometimes played. I don't remember a scenario where I played this seriously, but I guess there's a world where you play this. Angelic Strike never saw play. Explore Mystery Big Haven never saw play. Saw play sometimes. And Azvaldt is just a generic neutral card that draws 2. It's the 2 mana draw 2 of Azvaldt. This is the true 2 mana draw 2 for Azvaldt, for the Azvaldt expansion. Angel of the Chaos is an interesting one here because like this has a history. This card has a history. There was a point when this was played in, let's see. This was played in Cornelius OTK Shadow. This was played in Board Lock Dragon. This kinda saw play in Board Lock Forest as well. And it saw play as a 6 mana. I mean, it saw play as a card. It feels like a meme. These legends are a meme, but like they pop up now and then and they make you go like who? But they do have some presence. But overall the neutrals aren't too as impressive this expansion, except for like these 3. These 3 are the good ones. And arguably Azvaldt, because it is consistent tutor for a Condemned card, which may or may not be good, depending on how you look at it. But yes, that's basically it for the entire Azvaldt package. If I were to say which class loses the most, in order right now, let me see. Forestcraft at the very top, followed by Shadowcraft, and then Shadow we follow downwards with. I'm wondering which one between these 3 is a cross between Sword, Rune, and Portal. Portal loses 1 archetype and an irrelevant archetype. I think I might say I'm gonna say Rune loses more because Rune loses Spell Boost and Sephi. Then we go with Sword, which loses Loot and Rally. And then we go with Portal, which loses Enhance and Machina support. And then we go with Dragon, which loses Drazael. You know what, maybe Drazael actually, it's just Drazael. And the entire Condemned package, which is you can argue for the condemn package actually for Dragon, which, you know what, it's kind of it's actually really surprising actually. Like we have 2 classes that are really good, and then we have 4 which are basically around the same level of loss: Sword, Rune, Portal, and Dragon. And then at the bottom of the irrelevant list, we have Blood above Haven. Haven lose the least. Blood loses Wrath, a lot of Wrath package, but actually, you know what, if you can argue, right? You can argue that Dragon, Blood, Sword, Rune, and Portal are all really, really equal for Azvaldt. They were all on equal footing. It's like, if you look at them objectively, the expansion Azvaldt is a really, really balanced expansion. It was no wonder people find it one of the most fun expansions for Shadowverse in quite a while. It was really balanced. We have 2 outliers in the form of Forest and Shadow, and then Sword, Rune, Portal, Blood, Dragon were relatively balanced, and then Haven got the short end of the stick. As always, because Haven is Haven. Haven is made to annoy you. I'm okay, no, I'm pretty happy that Haven got bad cards. But yes, that's basically it. That's my analysis of and my review over all the cards that is different from Azvaldt. And I guess if you watch all the way to the end, thanks for watching to the end. It means a lot to me. And I'll see you guys soon.